Hi there, welcome to the GPStar PSTT assembly video. This is a pretty easy and straightforward build, so let's not waste any more time and get right into it. Starting with the servo motor, we're going to attach it to the main body. And then we're going to secure it by using 4 M3x8 socket cap screws. And once tightened, take the cable and feed it through the slot that's in the underneath it. Next, grab your PSTT board and 4 M2x5 socket cap screws. Make sure that the USB port is pointing outwards, and then we're going to lock that down. Next, grab the 2 LED jewels and another 4 set of M2x5s. And if you have a cat, just give it a little bit of attention and he'll go away. Take the open-ended wire and we're going to slot this through the body here. And then we're going to start with the middle jewel, and this goes on the bottom here. And they're simply held in place by the 2 M2 screws. And then the last jewel just slots into the top here, and the same thing, just held in by 2 M2 screws. Moving on, we're going to deal with the touch button. So we're going to remove the nut first. Then take the top cover and slot the wires through. Follow that up with the nut. And then you're just going to tighten it in place by whatever means necessary. Okay, let's start connecting some of these wires. Starting with the LED jewels, we're going to take this one and it's going to plug into EXP-1. Now, my board might look a little different than yours. I'm using a prototype board, so just follow the labels and you'll be good. Next, take the servo motor wires, and this plugs into servo 1. And make sure you got the right orientation. Make sure that the brown wire, it lines up with the ground pin. Following up with that is the push button wires, and that will plug into S1. Finally, take the last piece of cable. This is going to connect to the Ghost itself, and this is going to connect into IRM1. Then you might want to tidy up the push button wires because they are quite long. You can put a zip tie if you like, or be lazy like me here and just whatever. Then take the Ghost target wire and thread it through the rectangular slot there. And when things are nice and tidy and you're satisfied, go ahead and pop that on. And then take another set of 4 M2x5s. And go ahead and screw those in to secure the cover. Okay, everything should be looking nice and tidy now. And we're almost there. So next up, we're going to move on to the gears themselves. So starting with this little piece called the horn. You're going to slot that into the gear. It's going to be a tight fit probably, so just try to push in as much as you can, as best as you can. Then take the small gear, and that's going to slot on top of that. And we're going to tighten it down with an M3x10 screw. Next up, we're going to assemble the arm that connects to the Ghost target. And starting with these 2 long pieces that will connect like this. But before we go ahead, you might find that these screw holes are quite tight. They are designed that way. So you're going to have trouble screwing at first. So what you want to do is widen the tip a bit like I'm doing with a screwdriver here and pre-thread it first with the screw. So you just need to get it going until it threads like a little bit, and then you go ahead and take it back out. Then you can connect the pieces, and then you might want to use some tweezers to drop that in and remove some cat hair if you have it. And then take an Allen head wrench, and that slots in from the top hole, and you go ahead and tighten that. Next piece is the pin. And once again, we're going to widen just the edge of the hole a little bit and then pre-thread it with a screw. This is the M2x4 screw. And while holding the M2x4 screw in place with an Allen key, you're going to put it through the hole. And it's going to be a little tricky with, just two hands here, but you're going to try to hold it in place with your left hand and screw the pin on with your right. So we're twisting the pin here and holding the screw in place. So it's going to be reversed. Oops. Make sure everything's nice and tight and you're good to go. Now take the bigger gear and make sure that the cutout is facing outwards. And that just slots into the square piece of the arm connector. Then we're going to drop it in place. Just double check to see that the big gear and the little gear are lined up properly. And then take the arm connector piece and you're going to drop that part on top. Make sure the feet part of it is facing outwards. And then you're just going to tighten that with two M2x5 screws. Take this top cover and put it over top. You might find that you need to apply some pressure to snap it in place. And then once that's done, secure it with 6 M2x5 screws. And then satisfyingly, you can just take the clear clip light and snap that in in the hole. Next up, we need to calibrate the servo motor into its correct position. To do that, we just need to power it on. Any 5-volt power source via USB-C will do. So as you see, once it powers on, it automatically turns into the proper upright position. Then we're going to take the target arm piece. Once again, pre-thread the screw hole. Then go ahead and insert the target arm. Then secure this with a M2.5x10 screw. You can press the push button to give it a test, see if it goes up and down properly. All good. Now take your ghost target and the IR sensor. And once again, you're going to have to pre-thread the hole on the back of the target. Then line up the sensor so that it fits through the hole. It should orientate like this. And then secure it with an M2x4 screw. Now remove the 3D printed nut off the bottom of the target. Insert it through the arm. And then re-secure it with the nut. Then plug in the IR sensor and you're good to go. But before we end this video, we gotta go over a couple of things. One is the optional battery box attachment that you can put on. And the second is how to update your firmware. The battery box has a variety of trays that supports 4 different types of Talon cell batteries. Moving on to the installation portion, take your PSTT and flip it over. Then place the battery box on top and then secure it with 4 M3x8 socket cap screws. Slide your battery choice into the tray. Then take the battery box and slide that on top. Then secure it with 4 M2x5 screws. Grab a USB-C cable and connect the battery to the board. Turn on the battery and you're all set. Now let's move on to the firmware. To update the firmware, you're going to need to power on the device. And then either on your phone or PC, go ahead and connect to the Wi-Fi. Select GPStar PSTT. The default password is 555-2368. You can change this later in the settings. Then on your browser, go to GPStar's website. Click on Support and Downloads. Scroll down until you find the firmware for the PSTT right here. Go ahead and download that. Then on your browser, connect to gpstar_pstt.local. And then hit on the settings cog and then update PST firmware. Select file, select your file, let it update. And you're done. That's it. Enjoy.